My name is Holger Lagerfeldt. I am a mastering engineer. So originally I started as a music producer and a songwriter. And then later in the beginning of the 2000s, I shifted to mastering, being more interested in the sort of the technical side about music. And then I slowly sort of graduated into doing mastering full time. And that's where I am today. I think as a lot of people, you start out just by, having whatever you have, in terms of equipment. And then slowly you sort of climb that sort of ladder where you try to obtain, better and better sound. And you realize as you're producing and maybe mixing yourself as well, you realize how important, the monitoring and the acoustics are to what you're doing. I started out in rented places and try to make those places fit my purpose as well as possible. But at some point, even though you can throw lots of money at something, you are limited by the size of the room, the possible dimensions you can get, and what's around you. So my next step was to move out of the city and into the countryside and build a dream studio of in exactly the dimensions that I wanted it to have. As a starting point, many of these systems will assume that what you want is this theoretically flat system, like a flat playback. I don't think that's really the actual aim or the thing that you should aim for. I think you need to understand and know your loudspeakers, respect that it has a certain sound. I love my speakers. I like the sort of bass sound that they have. They do have imperfections. I think all loudspeakers have some kind of imperfections. And it comes really down to respecting the loudspeakers and understanding the environment that you're working in. So my gear pusher kept on calling me and saying, you need to check this out. And I was like, I don't believe in it. I don't like this room correction stuff. It's a waste of my time. That was my initial thought. They kept on calling me and saying, you need to check it out. This is different. This is different. And so finally I caved in, and they came and set it up and helped me understand how it worked, and we calibrated it for about an hour, and suddenly things just clicked into place, and I went, just leave it there and just go home, I'll keep it. So the first impression was, this is a little bit too close to something too flat. And then my dealer said, this is actually how it works. You can set this target curve and you can say, I want to sort of respect the sort of inherent sound of the speaker, but still fix, there's a minor bump at 80 or there's a small dip at 50 or whatever. And then you can fix those, but still respect sort of the overall sound of the speaker in terms of frequency. And once I understood that and we tweaked that in, it was like, as I said, something sort of clicked into place. And especially in the time domain, the feeling of getting everything precisely at the same time. It's quite sort of a revelatory experience. Not only can it improve the overall sort of frequency perception, the amplitude, but also the time domain. And that, for me, those two things in combination gives me a much sort of more focused center image really. And once the center image is so focused, then the stereo image actually becomes more pronounced. It's very, very clear what's going on everywhere in the sound stage. It's not that the room has changed. The room is the same. The speakers are the same, but the small improvements that the Trinnov did simply made me able to work faster, because everything is just a little bit more precise, and it just whatever I do, I know this is exactly what's going to happen. Having it closer to perfection, just as you say, the confidence, it just makes it faster. I have a big console here in the middle, and it will cause some kind of dip or whatever around 200 hertz. So it's impossible to completely fix those things really acoustically. And that's something that I was able to fix. Occasionally when I have people here, they will sit and they will listen. They will hear stuff, not just because of the speakers in the room, but they will hear stuff that's they understand what's happening. And they go home and they go, why don't I get that feeling? And I try to tell them it's a combination of many things, but one part of that puzzle is the Trinnov for me.